Good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to another Funky Brunch at Sunday Brunch Podcast. How are we all doing this morning? It's the last Sunday in November, and we're almost out of 2020. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. And because we're in the middle of the holiday season, I figured we could do this as more of a just chillaxed little talk about the holidays and what you guys have done, with family or yourself, or just, fun little things to remember about the holidays throughout your life type of deal. And in no particular order, we can talk about any of the holidays as I think of them. I'll probably try to see if we can't leave Christmas off and we could do just a specific Christmas one later on, but we'll see how much time we waste. So let's start with Thanksgiving, since we, just had that. So I'll go first. You guys can leave your comments and memories or just, your usual routine, in the comments, and I'll read them off as we go. But let's see. So for me, Thanksgiving has always been... So we've always, at least my family, has always celebrated Thanksgiving with my mother's side. Mostly because my mother's side lives far away. They're all like an hour north or an hour south of us. And so back as a kid, we used to celebrate at my mom's aunt and uncle's house. So, we'd go over there and, it's a tiny place, cramped with lots of people I didn't know, filled with food that I didn't eat, because I didn't really like turkey, at least a carved turkey, because the white meat was always too dry, the dark meat always had bones in it, and that's where I really developed my dislike of turkey, is because somehow every time I got, dark meat, there's something hard, there's cartilage or a bone or something, and I just didn't like it. And that's where I got my reputation for only eating bread at family events, because that's all I would eat. I would eat the rolls. But, the one thing I do remember the most from my mom's uncle's house was the fact that they had a snooker ball table. So my brother and I would play snooker ball all the time. In the basement. Away from everybody, because we didn't know anybody. It was really weird, because... I hated Thanksgiving because I'd be away from anybody I knew. Back in the day, I didn't have a phone. When I did have a phone, the only place I could get away was the basement, and there was no service in the basement. So it was never a fun time for me, because it was a holiday I didn't care about, the food I didn't care about, and I didn't know anybody there. In more recent years, as in the last 4... maybe 5. Thanksgiving has been at my mom's cousin's house, which is a mansion. So it's a ginormous place full of people I don't know. Even more people I don't know now. But the only good thing is that to help the kids, stay quiet and give them something to eat, they always buy a crap ton of Chick-fil-A nuggets. So now I gouge myself on Chick-fil-A nuggets and broccoli. And now that I'm an adult, I'm only forced to stay there for conversation until after the family photo and dinner starts. Then I sneak out the front door and I don't look back. But that's kind of how I've always celebrated Thanksgiving with my mom's side. My dad's side also would have Thanksgiving. Usually all together. The thing is just, I don't know why, but we decided that we had to go to my mom's side for Thanksgiving. Occasionally I would be forced to go over there too, and it's after dinner, everyone's just sitting around at the giant long table, and I'd have to awkwardly go in and just sit down and listen to everybody talk and everything, and pay my dues of saying hi to everybody and that kind of deal. Like, it's not the worst. I do enjoy being around my dad's side more, but that's because, well, because when it comes to, like, my dad's side having stuff, I know everybody there. I know all my cousins, I know all of my aunts, I know all of my great aunts, I know of my second cousins, I know everybody who would show up there. But when it comes to my mom's side, I know my mom's sister, my cousins, and my grandparents. That's it. That's all I really know. I never got to know anybody else because we never really saw them. So, yeah, it was just never a fun time for me there. But yeah, that's how we've always done it here for me. This year, because of the whole, pandemic and everything, there was no Thanksgiving. And I was very happy because I could prepare my own Thanksgiving meal, which was pizza. I had myself a delicious pizza, some brownie a la mode, and I was able to just relax and enjoy myself for once. Let's see, Emotive says, Thanksgiving for me was never a huge affair, just immediate family, so mom, sister, brother would have turkey and all the things, though. Let's see, about the age of 9 to 10, she started helping her mom make the dinner, and did so every year after. Once she started working, she usually worked Thanksgiving, so missed the whole bunch in the early 20s. Of course, pizza and brownies, that's the best way to celebrate. I mean, I don't need a fancy turkey. I don't need stuffing. I did miss my mom's broccoli casserole, and I did miss the deviled eggs and the pumpkin pie. That's like a tiny portion of all the food offered. I don't even know what half of the food offered at, like, that place is. Like, yeah. But, I mean, hey, not too much to really go on about. So, but yeah, that's kind of what my Thanksgivings always look like, and what my Thanksgivings will look like again next year. Yeah. Let's see. Moving forward. Let's skip Christmas for now. Let's skip New Year's for now. Let's see. Oh, Panda says, Thanksgiving was always just mom, dad, and sister. Mom and sister would make all the food, while Panda and her dad waited hungrily. But now that she doesn't live at home, she just stays at home and makes food for herself. I mean, there's one point where you just have to say, this is my life now, and I want to create my own tradition, You don't have to always wait and, stick with the same tradition. Once you've got yourself established and everything, you can easily put your foot down and say, it's time for me to do things myself. Granted, living far away from home also helps making that decision. Oh, yeah, of course. It's always too much work to make a big fancy feast for just yourself. Emotive's never made a Thanksgiving dinner on her own, but she wants to. I mean, you don't have, like I said, you don't have to have this big old fancy meal for Thanksgiving. Heck, like I said, I had pizzas and brownie a la mode. That's a Thanksgiving meal to me. Personally. It's just, whatever you decide on, whatever you want. Very thankful for Za. It's just, Thanksgiving's a weird holiday. It's the holiday to give thanks for what you have. And so how do we do that? We gorge on food. We, spend time with people we don't know in some cases. And then we fight over deals the very next day after we were thankful for everything we have. Thanksgiving, Black Friday is weird. And it just does not make sense, to be honest. But that's what we have, so... Man, like, you don't have to make a fancy feast. Just, have a nice dinner for yourself, Take some time to consider what you are thankful for, That's all you got to do. Alright. Oh my god, my throat. Okay. Moving forward now, like I said, we're going to skip Christmas, we're going to skip New Year's, so next up is V-Day. Valentine's Day. Did you guys ever do anything for Valentine's Day? Like family, like a small little thing? You're right, Panda. Black Friday does not make any sense. Being thankful for what you have and then just buy. But yes, Valentine's Day. Did you guys ever do anything? Like, did your family ever have any kind of silly little thing, Back when I was still in, like, school, elementary, middle, high school, did you ever do anything for it? My mom would always buy us those little, like, dollar Snoopy hearts, or, like, a cartoon character heart, Tweety Bird, Sylvester, the cat, those little hearts full of chocolates, and we'd always get that on Valentine's Day morning, which was then taken away after we got it, because my mom didn't want us to eat all the chocolate immediately. But, yeah. That's really all my family did for Valentine's Day. We would just, we would get the chocolates from my mom. That's about it. We wouldn't really do like a big meal. We wouldn't buy stuff for each other. I mean, my parents did, but they're kind of required. Isn't that like law? You're married, buy them Valentine's Day gift. Sounds like it is. Ugh. But yeah. What about you guys? Did you have anything fun? Anything you've done? You do? I can tell you right now, I don't do anything myself personally for Valentine's Day. I wait for the day after Valentine's Day. But I'll go into that story after I read this. Emotive says, we would get chocolate hearts, and my mom would make us pancakes in the morning shaped like hearts, and instead of chocolate chips, it would be mini Hershey Kisses and hot cocoa. It was special because we got cocoa in the morning. That does sound nice. Panda says, my mom always made my sister and I goodie bags of things, candy, socks, which everybody loves getting socks, am I right? And clothes. I mean, that's still sweet, and everything. Yeah, I know. I don't like Valentine's Day. I prefer the day after Valentine's Day, because that's when all the Valentine's Day candy goes half off. I, too, like getting clothes now, because I don't like to buy clothes. So I got holy socks. Well, thank God I got socks for Christmas. Otherwise, nobody sees my socks. A hole or 7 aren't gonna matter. But yes, Panda, half off candy. Best holiday. There's like, what? 4 holidays where I enjoy half off? Easter, Valentine's Day, Halloween, Christmas? I think those are the 4 half off candy days. Best days. Alright, let's see. What's next? Hold on, I gotta look something up. What day is this? That doesn't sound right. Oh, it's in June. Got it. Okay, so next up is St. Paddy's Day. Did you guys ever have any kind of a St. Paddy's Day family, event, holiday, stupid, little silly thing? The only thing we would get is we'd get food dye in our drinks, and we'd have green colored food. But that's when we were little kids. When we grew up, we never got that again. Well, even still, just because if you didn't know that you were Irish, you can still have fun and celebrate it just by going green. Like, we'd get green milk in our cereal. We'd get green milk just to drink. We'd get a green cake if my mom was making a cake. Yeah, I know you don't like milk. I mean, as a little kid, it was amusing more than anything. It's like the freaking purple and green ketchup. It looks disgusting. But it's just ketchup that's colored. Aw, that's cute, Panda. Your mom made goodie bags for that too? That's nice. Everybody loves a goodie bag. Oh, I know you're not knocking on the traditions. You're not knocking on my door. Yes, let's see, what's after that? Easter. Easter. What was your guys' Easter things, you know? So it makes more sense for me to explain my family stuff at home and then go to the extended family. So, Easter. My family was the twice a year Christian. We would, or wait, no. My parents hate it when I call them Christian or Catholic because they're like, no, we're the other. We went to church twice a year until I went to college, and then they finally dropped it. And I was just like, oh, fine. Finally, when I was able to stop showing up without you yelling at me, you all stopped going. Gosh dang it. No, not Protestant. They preferred the name Christian or Catholic, and I don't remember which. But they're not practicing or anything, so. But we went to church twice a year. That was Easter morning and Christmas Eve. And I hated it. I hated going to church. But yeah, so Easter morning would be interrupted by church. Ugh. And, but at home, we would have an Easter basket full of goodies and presents. Actually, that's where I got this bad boy. My Pokemon Sapphire and Pokemon Ruby Prima Guide to everything Pokemon and Gen 3. That's where I got this bad boy. It was in my Easter basket one year. But we'd have, you know, the jelly beans, which I hated. We'd have the marshmallow peeps, which I like now. I hated, then I liked. I like the flavored ones. They're really good. I like the chocolate marshmallow eggs, which I'm addicted to. And then, of course, you know, the typical Reese's, which egg Reese's are also up there in the top Reese's. Because, you know, there are good Reese's, and then there are okay Reese's, and then there are, maybe Reese's should drop this Reese's. But, and of course, we also have an Easter egg hunt, which I was the worst at, and I always got the least amount. So eventually, my mom changed it, and we all had certain amount of eggs we could get, and they had our name on it. Because my brother and sister would get all of the eggs, and I would just kind of sit there with no eggs, no candy, nothing. But I still had my Easter basket full of candy, so it's not like I had nothing. And of course, my siblings would give me their... We would trade candy anyway, because I was incredibly picky, and my brother and sister knew that they could get what they wanted off of me in exchange for their Reese's, which... Fine by me, jokes on them. Reese's are the best candy anyway. But, yeah, that's what we would do at home. And then we would go to occasionally, we'd go to my mom's parents, where it would just be my mom's parents and then my two cousins and my aunt and her partner. And we'd also have a small Easter egg hunt there. The candy would have like coins or jelly beans or something, so really everyone just looked for the coins and left the jelly bean eggs. You just pick it up, shake it a little. If you heard a metallic, you put it in the basket. If you heard plastic, you put it back down. That's really all I remember from that side. And then my dad's side, we would also have a pretty big Easter egg hunt. That's probably where my mom got the idea of assigning us individual eggs, because we would get colored eggs. Like, each of the participants would have a specific colored egg. Like, oh, you would get red, or oh, you would get blue, whatever. And then you could pick your hider. I always chose my godfather because he was the most ridiculous one at hiding eggs. Like, they would be in the gutter, they would be in the trash, they would be buried under the lawn. They would get stuck up the dryer vent leading out from the house. That was a fun one. And every year somebody would slip a $20 bill into an egg and claim that, oh my god, I got the $20 egg. There was never a $20 egg, but it made everybody wonder, what if that actually was in the egg? What if I'm missing an egg now? Type of deal. Just fun little things like that. I don't remember any specific foods or anything, but that's kind of how Easter went for me. Alright, let's see. A motive. For Easter, we weren't religious, and I've never been to church. We did the egg hunt, the plastic eggs, which would sometimes be empty or have little candy or money inside. I also have to hunt down the baskets. Dyed eggs every year the day before, and would eat the hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. Always have a slightly more feasty dinner. Mom would usually make ham, mashed potatoes, corn, and rolls. I was never into the dyeing eggs because I don't like to get my hands dirty. And I thought it was kind of pointless to just dye eggs to immediately then break them and eat them. Granted, I still ate them, but I let the dyeing to other people because I didn't really care too much about it. We may have had special foods, but because I'm so picky with eating, I usually forget everything people make or bring or whatever. Yeah, I know. Like, people would use spoons. We had a special, like, egg holder. So, like, it would fit in the egg, and then you could dye it in. That way you could dye, like, different colors and patterns and things into it. But, it's me. I'm messy. I can't do anything and not be messy. So, it was just one of those, I just didn't think it was something I would enjoy, so I never did it. It was just a little plastic thing that came in one of the dye packs, so it wasn't like it was like a super fancy, like, this is for hardcore egg dyers, da-da-da-da-da-da. Nah, it was just, it was what it was. Let's see, Panda, we hated dyeing eggs, so we didn't do that. We just got lots of candy. Never did an egg hunt. I mean, egg hunts are fun, maybe like once or twice, but then you're just like, I hate searching for eggs. I just want my candy. And then somebody always forgets where they hid stuff, and then you're just like, well, great. Now somebody's missing candy. And you know how missing candy goes down in the world. Everybody complains. I hated it. Personally. Because I'm blind as hell when it comes to just finding things. I can't do egg hunts. So, let's see. Moving down the list, let's see. What's the next national holiday? Oh, my birthday. That's the next national holiday. No, I'm just kidding. Moving on to, here's one that you guys probably are like, what the hell? But, my family celebrated St. Barbados Day. Don't ask me what this is, but, probably some Christian thing. But someone in my family celebrated St. Barbados Day by renting out a clubhouse. So we'd have it was my dad's side extended family. So if you thought my dad's side was large with his 4 brothers and sisters all with their own kids, and then heck, even some of my older cousins are starting to have kids now, like this was like 5 times the amount of people. Like we'd have a giant pool, we'd have a giant clubhouse for dining. It's just, yeah, I don't know what St. Barbados Day is, but it was nice. It was a day at the pool and then free food. We only went a couple of times, but hey, that's a holiday. Barbados is a place, but this is St. Barbados Day. It's weird. Like, I looked up when St. Barbados Day is, and they're like, oh, it's in November 30th, tomorrow. But it's like, no, we celebrated this in, like, the summer. So, I don't really know. I feel like it's a Christian thing more than anything, so don't worry about it. Yeah, it's really weird, but we celebrated it. And that's the only reason I know the name St. Barbados Day. Right. But yeah, my family, yeah. So if you have any weird holidays that your family celebrated, just toss her in there. But anyway, moving on to an actual holiday, let's go to the 4th of July, shall we? So, the 4th of July, what did you guys used to do? We never really did cookouts. Like, my dad would, grill a burger every now and then, but we never had, a full-blown, barbecue or anything like that. Not that I would have eaten much at a barbecue, but, 4th of July, during the day, we would go... we can save birthdays for another time. We'll see what happens. But, let's see. For 4th of July, we would spend the day at the pool, where they would have pool activities. They would have a ton of quarters and then throw them into the deep end of the pool. We're talking the 13, 14 foot deep pool, deep end, and they just throw those quarters into the pool. And then kids would go diving for them. The problem was, and why I stopped doing it, is that the kids would get very, very aggressive when it came to getting the money. And they would half drown you to get more money. We're talking keeping you underwater until you dropped whatever you had in your hands. It was not the smartest idea of the people at the pool. It's also the reason I stopped playing Sharks and Minnows at the pool. If you don't know what Sharks and Minnows is, it's just a simple game where it's like tag, but you have to tag someone's head when their head is above water. And you just swim from one side of the pool to the other. And people would just hold you underwater. It was not my favorite memory. But yeah, no, there'd just be a bunch of little activities in and out of the pool that we would do all day, and then at night we would go watch fireworks somewhere. Let's see. Panda says her parents would grill and would do fireworks or sparklers. I feel like every now and then my dad would buy like a mini thing of fireworks, like just small little things you can shoot off in your backyard. Like nothing like that would shoot straight up into the air, but like the little like growy snake thing, or like the little homemade sparklers, or something that'll shoot little sparks into the sky a little bit. That's the most we got. I never played with those. I never played with sparklers or anything because I don't like fire. But we did go see fireworks every year for a number of years. There were the fireworks down on the Ohio River. There were the fireworks at my high school. There were fireworks. Heck, you can see fireworks from my apartment right now. Panda, you used to light grass on fire with sparklers. Oh gosh, you little pyromaniac. Let's see, fireworks were illegal where a motive lives, and some people still do it, but they get tickets. Yeah, that, like I said, you little arso. Just setting little fires. Let's see, Emotive says so for the 4th. They either did nothing, sometimes would get some grilled hot dogs and hamburgers, but that was rare, and sometimes would go see fireworks, but that was also rare. I mean, fair. Like, the 4th of July is not, like, a super big, like, actual, like, holiday. It's just something people like to hype up to be American. Which is not that big of a deal, let's be honest. It's like, congratulations, you live in a subpar world at a subpar country. And you're doing it overzealously. Congratulations. Anyway, moving forward from the 4th of July. Let's see, August, September. Alright, let's go to Labor Day. Did you guys have any kind of thing you did for Labor Day? We did. There was the Labor Day parade in my town. And because I was in Indian Guides as a kid, and then in marching band in high school, I actually marched in the parade. Several times. So I got to be in a parade. Several times. Talking about like 1.5 mile, 2 mile walk. March, whatever. Oh, excuse me. In uniform. Well, at least for marching band, it was in uniform. For Indian Guides, we just did whatever. I don't even remember that one. That was so long ago. But after that, we would go over to my dad's parents' house. My grandparents on my dad's side. And then we would just have a nice lunch, and, you know, it'd be a time to see everybody. And just kind of chit-chat and just, you know, catch up, all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's kind of really what we did for Labor Day. Nothing exciting. We get bagels. We get, like, sandwiches. That's about it. Let's see. Motive says, I think we also had a Labor Day parade. We would sometimes sit outside and watch because it literally came down our street because we lived on one of the main streets in town. Nothing else. And you just sometimes didn't go watch. Yeah, I used to watch it a lot more as a kid, but then I stopped. And then I had to be in it, and then I definitely didn't want to go. Occasionally you'd get candy. Depends on the year. But yeah. Parades aren't super important to me. They're kind of just like, type of deal. So, nothing terribly exciting type of deal. So I guess we gotta zoom to Halloween. So what was your guys' Halloween like? You know, did you do something extra special other than just trick-or-treating? We did, obviously, the trick-or-treating. As a kid. You know, just kind of go out in your costume and get some free food, candy, food, candy's food, close enough. And get your free candy and just be able to just, kind of just be a kid and be all dressed up in costume, in character. After that, we would then go to my dad's parents' house again and just kind of, we'd get like pizza probably, and then we just kind of just, spend time at my grandparents with the cousins and everything for a couple hours. And that's kind of how we celebrated Halloween, at least at my family. We haven't been talking about what we do here, actually, in the present. Actually, we only did that for Thanksgiving. Whoopsies. So, I'll just quickly recap what I do now for all the holidays we've skipped through. Valentine's Day, I do nothing but the half-off candy. St. Patrick's Day, I do literally nothing. 4th of July, I ignore that that's a holiday. Labor Day, I ignore that. And then Halloween, here, we got things to read. Panda says, we stopped trick-or-treating. When I got to high school, we'd get goodie bags and watch the Halloween movies on TV. Motive says, we did trick-or-treating. We sometimes had a little Halloween party, like with a couple neighbors, or I think one year my half-siblings came over. My mom would always go ham wood on those Halloween decorations. Panda says the only thing she ever does for holidays is go for half-off candy. Yeah, that's about all you need to do, really. But yeah, for now, I don't do anything like, I don't live in a place where we get trick-or-treaters, thankfully, so I don't have to buy candy for them. Plus, I'd be streaming anyway, so I don't have time to answer the door for trick-or-treaters. But, yeah. I'd rather keep my candy for myself. And of course, the best holiday after that is November 1st, because that's half off Halloween Candy Day. Alright. Motive says she celebrates some holidays, but mostly just Christmas, but we haven't gotten to that, which it looks like we might have to, because we're almost out. So let's talk about birthdays, shall we? What did you do for your birthday back in the day, and what do you do now? So back in the day, for my birthday, we got to make a request for our favorite cake, and my parents would make it. Back in the day, I used to love my dad's like triple chocolate cake. It'd be like a chocolate cake. It would be a chocolate bundt cake with chocolate chips and like a fudge center. So it was really good. And then of course my favorite cake turned into a angel food cake with homemade whipped topping and strawberries. So I'd always request that. I'd always have a sleepover with 3 friends. And it was only 3 friends because then we could play multiplayer without having to share the controller. 4 people, 4 controllers, problem solved. And of course, I'd get gifts from my family. I stopped getting gifts from aunts and uncles kind of when I got to 13. I would occasionally get a gift from like one of my aunts every now and then if she happened to like find something that she's just like, oh, this is perfect for, DJ. So she'd get it for me. Usually like a book or something like educational, not like, oh, I got a video game because it's on my birthday list. No, it was more like, oh, hey, you like the notorious Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Let me give you a Ruth Bader Ginsburg t-shirt. I got a Notorious RGB shirt, which I don't have anymore. I actually got this for graduating law school. She wears a 1-up because she needed a 1-up in life. Let's see. Panda says, going back to September, where I lived growing up. Oh, she had a pickle festival. Interesting. Not sure why, but there was a big parade in the morning. They throw candy at the crowd. There were big barrels of pickles, lots of stands selling all homemade goods, food, clothes, jewelry, sand, art things. We always got fried dough. That's cool. Oh, yeah. going back to the 4th of July, there's actually the Americana Festival here in town. I forgot about that. It's a giant street fair full of just, a bunch of, homemade things. A bunch of the businesses in town would go and, open up stands to sell things. I've never been there, though. Mostly because it's the hottest day of the year, and going outside is not bueno. So, yeah, there's that. Never really enjoyed going outside in the summertime, so... Let's see, Emotive says, we had a fair of sorts. Don't want to say the name of it, because I want to give away location details. That's fair. Haha, get it. It was in the summer. There were rides and foods. There was another fair in the fall around up north. It was the Dark County Fair. There was a demolition derby there. First and only time I've ever been to a demolition derby. It was weird. I've been there only a few times. I don't really enjoy fairs, carnivals, theme parks, all that sort of thing. Not really my thing. Yeah, birthdays, guys. What did you guys do for birthdays, and what do you do now? We talked about what I used to do. What I do now for my birthday is, I eat cake. That's it. I don't do anything special for my birthday. I request it off, and I stream all day. It's about the most I do for my birthday. Don't really need to do much else. Let's see. Panda says, for my birthday, I either had school or my mom worked, so we didn't do anything in the morning, but I always got to pick what I wanted for my birthday dinner, open presents, then I'd get to pick what I wanted for my birthday cake. Almost always chose cheesecake. Very nice. Sounds like a great time. Yeah, I wish I got school off on my birthday. Nope. But I get work off on my birthday now. Yeah. I took it off for my birthday this year, obviously. We had that 12-hour Breath of the Wild stream. That was wild. See, Emotive. We got to pick our birthday cake. Usually pick brownies as my cake, or this cake that was chocolate chip white cake with white peanut butter frosting. Always had a sleepover party. My birthday is 2 days away from V-Day, so it never got celebrated in school. Like, if I brought cupcakes, everyone assumed they were for Valentine's Day. Well, that's sad. Because then nobody was just like, she brought brownies for her birthday. That's a sad thing. Oh, well. But still, you did it twice and then stopped. Yeah, there's no point in trying. Let's see. Panda says, now I either Skype my family and open presents, or if I fly back home, I get to plan out what I want to do for the day and pick out dinner and my cake and open presents. That's always a good idea, Panda. It's always nice to go home and visit and be able to celebrate your birthday. It's always better when you're celebrating with your family to be there. See, Emotive says, I was shy anyway, so it was unnecessary torture. Right? Ugh. Bringing things in for people to share was always the worst. Alright, moving on to, I guess that leaves the last two holidays that I can think of, at least off the top of my head. Christmas and New Year's. Oh, so what did you used to do for Christmas? And what did you used to do for New Year's? And what do you do now? So, for Christmas, back in the day, we had our Christmas, which was my mom's side, staying over at our house. And we would open presents. We would open presents to each other. So, me giving gifts to my brother and my sister, my parents, my aunt giving us gifts, the gifts from real people was opened on, like the real people you were with, were opened on the Christmas Eve and everything. We'd have a big dinner. Usually I get to manipulate the dinner menu into being some kind of a homemade pizza. Stromboli, homemade pizza. We get Marion's pizza. We get Milano's pizza and subs. I usually get to sneak in what I want because my parents never make what I want for the other holidays. So I get to choose Christmas dinner. Christmas Eve dinner, I should say. And Christmas morning, everybody would wake up at the crack of frickin' dawn and go scream about Christmas from presents from Santa. Oh, right, I forgot. We'd also go to church Christmas Eve. Then Christmas Day, obviously, presents from Santa, everything. We say goodbye to my grandparents, my aunt and uncle, my aunt and her partner, then they'd go away. Then we'd go to my dad's parents, where there'd be more presents to open from family, and then they'd have a gift exchange, and then there'd be a huge dinner of, Italian lasagna, grandma's secret recipe, because my grandma immigrated from Italy as a baby, so first generation Italian. We'd have these delicious cheese sausage balls, which are literally addictive. Like, the moment they're out, even if they're burning hot, people are, like, burning their fingers and their tongues to get them in their mouth. But, yeah, that's what we would do. That was our Christmases. Nowadays, it's a little different. My grandparents go to Mexico. My mom's parents go to Mexico every year. Mexico, Texas. It's on the border. They're constantly going back and forth. So we celebrate Christmas early, actually, like a week or two with them. And then we do a Christmas Eve thing with my parents, where we just open the rest of the presents. And then there's a Christmas Day thing with my dad's side, which is the exact same thing as it was before. Except for I don't get presents there, which I don't need presents there. We just get, we just open. We just do a gift exchange and the dinner and everything. So, yeah. And then at home here, I don't do anything. Nothing special. I just do the stuff with my family. Let's see. Panda says, holidays were always just my mom, dad, and sister. My mom always had to work Christmas morning, so when she got home, we'd open presents. My mom would make a big Christmas dinner, which was basically just like a Thanksgiving dinner. But it was labeled Christmas. Yeah. I've never been a big family gatherer type person. I've never been big on celebrating things. Like, presents are nice and everything, but as I've gotten older, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't see a point in them, to be honest, in a lot of things. But if Christmas growing up was fun, my mom loves Christmas. She went insane on the decorations always. We would usually save decorating the tree until Christmas Eve, and we'd do it as a family with Christmas music, and then we would turn all the lights off and the tree lights on and hang out. Mom would read us the story of Christmas, the most religious thing we ever did. And the night before Christmas, we would have Christmas Eve dinner, which was mini Thanksgiving, so a turkey. That sounds like fun and everything. For us, decorating the tree usually came right after Thanksgiving. Getting all that stuff up and everything. Let's see. Motive says, then Christmas morning we would wake up early. We would do stockings first, then presents and cinnamon rolls for breakfast. Then we would have Christmas dinner, which was ham. Oh yeah, we did have cinnamon rolls and stockings too at my family. Good old cinnamon rolls. Oh yeah. Panda says, we didn't decorate much, just had a tree that I always had to put together myself, and my sister and I decorated it. I, as a kid, was always forced to put together, things on the tree and everything, and I was just like, I hate putting things on the tree. I did not like putting up my decorations. Like, I have a ton of ornament. Like, we all have our own box of ornaments, and I hate decorating the tree. I hate putting my ornaments up. So I was always told, if you don't decorate it, none of your ornaments are going to go up. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Lo and behold, 2 hours later, suddenly a ton of my ornaments are on because, haha, guess what? My mom didn't want me to feel left out. I'm just like, why? I don't care. Motive says we always had special flavored hot cocoa on Christmas Eve as well. What kind of flavored hot cocoa? You never told us that. And Panda says we also had our own ornaments that we got to pick out. Of course. I think everybody has their own special ornaments, and I'm just like, I don't want these. I don't need an ornament. I don't even have a tree. I don't want a tree. That's a lot of work, and I have a cat that's psychotic. Not a good combination. Let's see. Emotive says we each had one from the year we were born, ones we made in school, and then our favorites from the rest of the bunch. Yeah, I have a ornament from the year I was born. I have a ton of baby ones, and then my grandma every year buys us a ornament, and we get to pick it out. I kind of wanted to stop, but she wants to keep buying them, so I have to keep giving her ideas. So, whatever. All right, let's move on to our last holiday then. New Year's Eve. What did you guys used to do for New Year's, and what do you do now? New Year's, we used to go celebrate at a friend's house. And that's it. We'd go over there for just a normal dinner. We watch the ball drop. We'd scream Happy New Year and go home. The flavored hot coffee is the hot cocoa. Her mom would buy several, and you'd get to pick what flavor you wanted, like caramel, toasted marshmallow, hazelnut. Panda. The only thing we would do is just stay up until midnight, then go to sleep. Yeah, that's basically all you can do for New Year's. Stay up till midnight, scream Happy New Year with noisemakers, and then go back to sleep. Nowadays, what I do for New Year's is I stream. That's it. We stream. I don't care. Once I got to high school, I would go to my ex's house and we'd do stuff until midnight, celebrate, and then go back to doing other stuff, and then I'd go home at like 2 or 3 a.m. You know, the norm. Motive says, yeah, we would as well. Stay up till midnight, watch the ball drop. You know. The norm. There's really not much else you can do to celebrate New Year's. I mean, you're just ringing in the new year. Let's see, Motive says, when I was in middle high school, she would always bribe me into staying up with her by saying if I did, I could have half a wine cooler. Ha ha ha. Nope. I mean, there's nothing wrong with drinking with adult supervision, especially your parents' supervision. That one's a huge gray area, actually. Because in other countries, they have some very strict drinking ages. Fun fact for you guys. Some countries like Germany have like really strict drinking ages. Granted, that's like 13 or 16. You can't like be out in public drinking prior to that age. However, you are allowed to drink at home with your family. You can't be throwing a house party, but like, you know, you can have a glass of wine with your parents type of deal. It's just one of those, you know, it's a supervision type deal. Different laws for different places. Yeah, it's not like you were going and getting crunk. You were having half a wine cooler. Nothing wrong with that, you know. I don't see that as a bad parenting method. If anything, it's teaching you, you know, hey, here's how to drink responsibly, or, you know, hey, this is what it's like when you get drunk. It sucks, doesn't it? Drinking sucks to begin with, so you just got like the lightest of tipsy. Or for all you know, that half a wine cooler was actually just like sparkling grape juice. You thought you were getting wine. Wrong. You got Welch's. That type of deal. Yeah, I think we hit all the big holidays that I can think of. Here's a small one I forgot. Martin Luther King Jr. My family had a small tradition of my grandfather hikes a lot on my dad's side. And so on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we would obviously have school off. So he would take any grandkid that wanted to go out, and we'd all go hiking. So I used to go hiking a lot back in elementary, middle school before I hurt my knees. So yeah, I would spend Martin Luther King Jr. Day hiking with my grandpa and any cousins that went along. It was fun. It was cute. It was, you know, it was a good time, as you would expect. Right, like I said, it was just something my family had a small little tradition of doing. But yeah, do you guys have any small little traditions or family things you did that you remember doing back in the day? Oh gosh, hiccups. Oh god, hiccups. Excuse me. It's just interesting, you know, how, you know, different people do different things for different days. Or even the same thing on the same, for the same thing. Like, it's just funny how it's like, oh, my family does this really unique thing for this holiday. It's just like, my family does that. Or my family hates doing this. It's like, my family loves doing this. It's just, you know, every family is different. And it's kind of fun. Type of deal. Yeah. I mean, like, pumpkin carving for Halloween. Did it more as a kid. Less when it got... Actually, my dad and my parents' neighbor have pumpkin carving competitions where, like... Well, it's mostly my parents' neighbor. They would go, like, all out on their pumpkin carving decorations. Like, we're talking, like, detail. But I loved eating salted baked pumpkin seeds. Delicious. But yeah, I hated it because I hate getting my hands dirty. And scooping out the guts of the pumpkin and everything is just like, bleh. It's yucky. Right. And I was never allowed to mess with sharp objects, so I couldn't even carve my pumpkin. Yeah, I mean, hey, small things, cute things, but yeah, I think we had a good podcast, yo. We hit all the holidays. So yeah, I think this is where we'll leave it out. Leave it off, I mean. Why don't you guys give me some suggestions on some future podcasts that you would like to see? Let me know on YouTube or, you know, anywhere you happen to watch this. Discord, things like that. Yeah, just, you know, let me know some ideas that you'd guys like to hear me talk about. And, yeah, we'll leave it off right here. So, thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you all enjoy. And until the next time, everybody, stay funky, people.